So there's a lot of people that don't think that there's this suffering mentality when it comes to the gospel, with this suffering mentality when it comes to, because we think we have to suffer in order to, gain some sort of crown, gain some sort of reward, and so we praise suffering. We have made an idol of suffering and going through things and even persecution. We said if you're not being persecuted, then you're doing nothing or whatever. But that's not really, it's not something like Jesus said you will have persecution. But that's not all you're going to have. Persecution, just because people don't understand and there's, opposition to heaven manifesting or, love manifesting, power manifesting, that's the persecution. That's it, the opposition, that's it. But that doesn't mean that that's your life. That doesn't mean that God called you to suffer. That doesn't mean that God doesn't want you to enjoy things. Because what God showed me is that every time that you enjoy the things that were created for you, because things were created for you to enjoy. I mean, if you look at food, for example, why do we have so many food? Why do we have all type of foods? We have all type of desserts, all type of different type of foods. Why didn't we just have one? Well, why didn't we just have rice, or beans? No, we have chocolate. And we got like all chicken and fish and all these different type of foods, because and basically and why do they taste so good? And why do we have taste buds? Like in our tongues, we have like I don't know how many pores in our tongues, and our taste buds that we have, our sense of smell and enjoyment is crazy. Scientists don't even know how to explain it. How much how the level of enjoyment that we can have on the earth. So God showed me that every time that I enjoy things the way that I'm supposed to enjoy them, unto Him, meaning that like I do it and I'm enjoying it and I'm enjoying Him in it, I'm enjoying the people that I'm with, I'm enjoying the thing, I'm giving God glory. I'm glorifying God. I'm making Papa happy. I have a daughter. Every time my daughter enjoys herself, sometimes I do things with my daughter that I don't necessarily, it's not necessarily like my forte. We'll watch cartoons that she wants to watch, and we go to places she wants to go. And hey, I love her, so I do those things, And but when I see her enjoying herself, I enjoy myself seeing her enjoy herself. So God showed me that, imagine the way that you are with your daughter. I am like that to the infinite power when I see one of my sons and my daughters enjoying themselves. And I think that people don't really enjoy life. I think that people don't enjoy life the way they're supposed to. And I think people are waiting for heaven to enjoy life when heaven is here right now inside of them. And they were just to tap into that, if they just awaken to that, they begin to really enjoy life, enjoy friendships, enjoy people, enjoy your son, your daughter, even your job. You can see God in your job and enjoy your job, and it's no longer a job. It becomes heaven. And it becomes an enjoyment. It becomes hanging out with your dad. But it's the perspective that we're looking, the glass that we're looking through, the goggles that we're looking through, that is keeping people from seeing the reality of what's there. Because we've been programmed in our minds to see all this stuff, and we have been programmed to see things only according to the five senses and not go beyond that and look internally to God, to love, to having power, to goodness, to kindness, to meekness, to all these different things, peace and joy, all that sort of inside us, and then bring it out, like manifest it. And then when you start manifesting it, you can share it with anybody. You can share it with anybody, and then people connect with you. They connect with the love in you. They connect the love in you with the love in them. Meaning that once they see it, because like I said at the beginning, people don't know what real love looks like. People don't know what real freedom looks like. Like, I think that if I were to just manifest how free I really am, it will freak some people out. I think some people will get freaked out. So this guy is either crazy, or there's something wrong with this guy. Like you can't just be this free, And so I just basically, act and manifest depending on who I'm with. I manifest accordingly to what they can handle, really, And I talk about whatever they can handle, And there's friends that know me, and they see me, and they know areas of me that other people don't know, and they see things and they know stories that other people never heard, and things like that. So by But I understand that love sometimes freaks people out, but not because they don't want it or they don't have it, but because they've been programmed. They've been programmed.
There's a lot of your friends. There's a lot of your friends that call you Magneto, that you manifest metal everywhere you go.
Mhm. Yeah, my friend Coelho. Yeah, my friend Coelho. Yeah, he manifests metal. I mean, well, every time he prays for people that have metal, like a metal, in their knee or in their bones, he prays for them, the metal disappears. So that's a really neat thing. Like I have this. I know this. We're talking about heaven, but I have this series that I'm gonna be talking about soon, and I talk about it's called Creator You. And it might be really controversial. Some people might take it, might like it, might not like it. I think that whoever is open is gonna love it. But it talks about the power that we have, because we don't really understand the power that we have in our minds, in our souls, in our spirits, in our hearts. The power that we have to create. A lot of the stuff that happened in the earth it's not. We keep on blaming the devil, saying the devil, the demons. We are actually the ones creating stuff. We have the only being in the earth, the only beings that have creative power to create stuff, God and man. That's it. Nothing else. Angels can't create like we can create. Demons can't create like we. God and man can create. The only ones in the likeness and the image of God that can create are us. That's it. And we're one with God. So there's a lot of things that people have. People get like darkness will introduce an idea, a lie, and then the power of the mind and the heart of men creates the lie, or makes room for the lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the lie itself, the idea itself didn't come from men. Didn't come from a man. It came from darkness. But the power to create the thing comes from men. We are so powerful. It's not even funny. There's hurricanes that are happening. There's natural disasters that are happening in the earth that are caused by our consciousness, by things by our own minds. Things that are happening in the weather, things that are happening with animals, things that are happening with even sicknesses and stuff like that are happening that we created. And the same way that we have the power to create those things, we have the power to create heaven or to manifest heaven here on earth. But people are being deceived, and they're using their powers not for good, but for yeah. I mean, we can go really deep on this stuff.
Yeah, that kicks in other things. Demonic forces, they use the hints to control you. They put a hint in your mind. They don't really do it. They put a hint in your mind where you can manifest it yourself, but to a negative way. If you could learn,
it's just these ideas, like I have this. I was writing this book. I have these 3 books that I have all these books that I'm writing, one at a time, obviously, but they're already inside me. I just have to write them, and there's like a sequence to them. And I think I talked about it last time. The first one was going to be about intimacy. Then the second one was going to be an identity, and the third one was going to be an inheritance, the 3 eyes. And I had to separate them, the 3, because there was too much information, too much revelation for just one book. So I had to make 3 different books. And I was writing the first one, intimacy, but I could not. Every time I tried to write it, I kept on going to my 4th book, which is called The Lie. The 4th book that I was planning on writing was called The Lie. And he's talking about, and this is talking about the lies that people, the universal lies that the whole world believes that are just lies. And because they believe those lies, they manifest those lies. But they're lies, and if people were just to awaken to the fact that they're lies and they awaken to the truth, then people begin to be intimate with God easily, manifest God easily, experience heaven easily. So I kept on going back to that 4th book when I'm writing my 1st book. So I had to stop writing my 1st book and go and write The Lie. So right now, what I'm writing is The Lie, because it's like, I cannot even talk about intimacy without first exposing the lie. Before you cannot if you're a constructor, a constructor, somebody who makes buildings, you have to destroy the crap and the lies and the wrong foundation before you can start and build something good, you know, on that place. So like I'm right in the light right now, and talking about the lies that people believe that are keeping them from being intimate with God, from being intimate with, you know, with one another, having a relationship with one another, intimate relationship with one another, awakening to how one we are with God, awakening to how one we are with everything, and manifesting heaven, manifesting love, manifesting power, manifesting joy, manifesting all this goodness, you know. Yeah. And so I'm writing this thing, man, and I can't wait till I get it, this thing comes out, you know, because it's really,
that's
really,
awesome,
really,
man. That's awesome.
Huh?
We only got a minute and 37 seconds left, but that's awesome, man. I want to ask you one thing. Have you ever got to go to the throne of God? Have you got to see any of that?
I've been like in this garden with Jesus. I've been like in cities with Jesus. I've been in something that looked like a kitchen, you know, with the Lord and other people, angels, you know, and even in the throne, yeah, you know, but it didn't look like the throne in, you know, it just looked like couches, honestly.
It was like couches.
It was laid back, you know, it wasn't like, you know, I honestly think that the way the Bible is written has to do with the things that people were supposed to at that time. They couldn't talk about elevators because elevators were not invented yet, but they could talk about thrones because they knew what a throne looked like, because they knew Caesar had a throne and Herod had a throne and, you know, Solomon had a throne. So, you know, it could have been just a couch, but they called it a throne because that's the terminology that they had. So, like, you know, for me, like, I've seen God in couches, you know. I've seen Jesus so many different times, and every time I look at him, he looks different. He looks like a Chinese guy one time. He looked like a black guy one time, a white guy one time, and he just wanted to, like, keep me on my toes, you know, like, you know, don't. And the one time I said, H, show me, I want to see you. And then he showed me a replica of myself, and I saw myself. I saw, like, another Rafael next to me. Like, here I am. And it was me, and I freaked out because I was, like, looking for Jesus, and he showed me, you know, because me and him are one, and you and him are one, and we and him are one, you know.
That's
so I don't know.
I understand what you're saying because, you know, when I've talked to God before, and I don't talk to him like I used to, I don't hear back like I used to. Only when I do my shows here lately, he let me know something. But he would always talk about, I'm you. And that's the hardest thing to understand. And my thing is, I have a unity background, and I was taught a lot of that type of stuff. And, you know, I went back to full Christianity. But it helped me understand a few things that a lot of people don't understand. But it's awesome when you see the full spectrum of God and where he is. And, you know, when you're talking about you saw Jesus in many different forms, it even talks about, you know, after he rose again from the dead, that they would see, that the disciples would see Jesus in many places, but he never did.
Did not know that it was him. Yeah.
He never did look the same. And it actually says that in the Bible. And, you know, and then you're talking about the kingdom inside. You know, they said in the Bible, they asked the Lord, they said, where is your kingdom? Because he was up there being tried. And he's like, where is your kingdom? He says, my kingdom ain't here. And he also said, you can't say here it is or there it is. So, you know, you can't say it's upstairs. So the kingdom is amongst us, but it's not in this realm. That's his kingdom. So he says you can't say here it is or there it is. It ain't a place you can point to. So that has a lot of open doors when he said that. Because, you know, back in the biblical times, they thinking he's going to be the king of Israel. He's going to take this land. He's going to take everything from the hierarchies, and he was going to be the king of it all, but he did not talk about that. That wasn't the king he was talking about. He was talking about being a king of your heart, living inside of you, living inside of you, and creating the heaven inside of you. not trying to, raise Hades here on earth and trying to take over everything. That wasn't what he was about. He was about love, not about ruling and human business. He wasn't about human business. He's about God's business. But that's one thing. That's one thing he was about. But we're actually completely out of time. We're just running on extra time, I'm not sure whether all this is being recorded, but it's awesome.
We love you, everybody. We love you. God bless you. Experience heaven, and keep on listening.
Amen.
We'll do this again, right?
Amen. And I actually think this will be recorded because I did this before and ran a little over, and it was still recorded, so it's probably still being recorded to a point. But, everybody's listening to me. Listen to us. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Rafael, for coming on the show. We'll have you again. I might have a heaven part 2, man. We might talk about some more stuff. But, we'd be sitting here for a couple of days talking about this stuff. But, anyway. It's awesome to talk about these deep subjects because there's a lot of Christians out there that is ready for some of this stuff. That's actually ready to get into this stuff. And there's some Christians that's just awakening to God and awakening just to the Scriptures, and that's all they need at this time.
Well, and, there's people that don't classify themselves as Christians and are ready for this stuff. They don't necessarily define themselves as a Christian or maybe any religion or maybe some other religion, and they're ready for this stuff because it's not like this stuff is not exclusive to any person. It's for humanity. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
It's for the whole everybody.
Yeah, but without Christ, he's the only way. So they got to go through his way. But that's one door you got to go through. But when you go through that door, you experience the universe. You get to understand all of God's secrets when you go through His doorway. But it's just my wife's looking in, wondering when I was going to get done here. But anyway, there's many things here, and Christ is expanded. I mean, he's everywhere, and we're actually trying to find God, and God is like, I'm right here. Where are you trying to find me? I'm right here with you. I'm in you. I'm everywhere. So it ain't too hard to find. But it's amazing how we can find Christ. It's amazing Christ is with us. It's amazing what Christ can do for you. And if you want to experience Christ, just ask Him into your life. And He will actually transform your life, and you'll get to experience all this stuff. But then again, Rafael, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and we'll talk some other time, man.
Man, thank you for having me, and I had a lot of fun, bro. Love you.
Yeah,
I love everybody listening. God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you too, man.